into work mode. The title of my talk is Don't Just Play, Win. Don't just play, win. And what I want to do in a few minutes that we have is just give you a few strategies, a few traits, characteristics of winners, things that I've learned both as an athlete and as a professional that I think is going to benefit you, both professionally and personally. Is that cool? Is that cool? Very cool. So just give me a few minutes. The three traits, I'll share all three and then we'll kind of dig into them individually. Number one, winners have a clear sense of identity. Winners have a clear sense of identity. In fact, could you repeat that? It's the teacher in me. Winners have a clear sense of identity. Awesome. Yeah, they know who they are. They know what they're good at. They know what they're not so good at. They're comfortable in their own skin. They've got a clear sense of identity. Number two, winners set specific and lofty goals. Winners set specific and lofty goals. Could you repeat that? Winners do what? Come on, your mama. Winners do what? They set specific and lofty goals. Yeah, most people know what they don't want. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be with him. I don't want to be with her. I don't want to go to school. I hate this job. Winners are different. Winners don't talk about what they don't want. Winners know what they do want, and they set very specific and lofty goals to help them get there. Here's the third thing, might be the most important thing. Winners embrace adversity. Winners embrace, I see a couple nods. Winners embrace adversity. Right? Those are the three. You guys remember all three? Winners have a clear sense. Winners have a clear sense of. Number two, winners set specific and the third thing is winners embrace adversity. Yeah, they embrace adversity. Let's talk about the first one. Winners have a clear sense of identity. Let me ask you a question you've probably never been asked before. How well do you know you? How well do you know you?
How do you really answer that?
Yeah, I'm going there. Second question. How much time, follow-up questions to that one, how much time have you spent studying you? How much time have you spent studying you? Here's what I've learned. Here's been my experience as well. We know everything about everyone else. We know our businesses, we know our markets, we know our competitors, we know what's going on in the news, we know what's going on in sports, we know about everything except ourselves. I don't know if you're like me and my wife, but it's crazy. It's a little sad. But it's before, when we wake up, before we brush our teeth, before we go potty, what's the first thing we do? Look at yourself. We grab the phone to see what's going on out there. Winners are different. Winners are different. Winners are comfortable in their own skin. They know who they are, and they take their full selves into their day every day. They're not so concerned about what's going on out there. They know themselves. Why is that important? Here's the deal. It is impossible. And that's a big word. It is impossible to function at 100% capacity if you don't know what you're capable of. Make sense? Right? It's impossible to function at full potential if you're not sure what you're capable of. And until you've spent the necessary time in introspection and reflection, knowing what you're capable of, you'll never be 100%. Let me show you. I'm a demonstration guy. Maybe this will help. Do me a favor. Raise your hand as high as you can. Please, if you would. Raise it as high as you can. Hold it up. Keep it up. Cool. Thank you. Now raise it just a little bit higher. Come on. Give me a little more. Awesome. Thank you. Hands down. What did I ask you the first time? Raise it as high as you can. And most people participated without any argument. Thank you. But yet, when I asked you to raise it a little bit more, you were able to give me a little bit more. As I would ask my 18-year-old daughter, what's up with that? What's up? See, it's not that you didn't try. It's not that you didn't participate. Here's the deal. You gave me what you thought was your best until I asked you for a little bit more. I don't know you yet. We'll just spend some time networking, but here's the deal. As well as you've done, as successful as you've been, as much as you've accomplished, guess what? There's a little bit more. I just want to challenge you, push a little bit. Push a little bit. Not to be so concerned with what everyone and everything else is doing, but to spend some time getting to know you. Because you're a pretty interesting individual. You're a pretty talented individual. And the more you know about who you are, the more you're capable of producing. Does that make sense? Winners have a clear sense of identity. I'm rushing, trying to get it all smashed in 15 minutes. Second thing, winners set specific and lofty goals. Lofty goals. Specific and lofty goals. Goals are critical. Goals are critical. Let me ask you a question. If I were to ask you right now, in this room, to show me your written goals, either on a piece of paper or on your smartphone, could you show me your goals written down? Could you? See, goals are critical. Here's why. Because goals both drive and steer our behavior. Goals both drive and steer our behavior. In the absence of goals, we're not as driven and we're not as focused. Let me ask a question. Basketball fans, I know we're in a baseball stadium. Basketball fans, what is your name, sir?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Quick question, Jimmy. What would basketball look like? What would a basketball game look like if there were no baskets?
Running around confused, not knowing.
Confused. Give me some other adjectives. Help Jimmy out. A mess. Confusion. Chaos. Lot of activity, but no direction. Here's the statement. I'm moving quickly. Life without goals is like basketball without baskets. There's a lot of activity. There's a lot of running around. You're busy. You're probably even fatigued. But where are you going? And how do you know if you're scoring? Life without goals is like basketball without baskets. Let me challenge you. Before you go to sleep tonight, write down some goals. Some things personally and professionally you want to accomplish. I know you're busy. I know you're busy. We're all busy. But where are we going? Where are we going? I talked about goals being both specific and lofty. I don't have time for specific. Let's talk about lofty for a second. I know people talk about SMART goals. It's an acronym. They should be specific. They should be measurable. And then the A's, they should be attainable. Right? Set goals that you know you can accomplish. Set goals that you know you're confident that you can accomplish them. You know what I think of that? I can't tell you what I think of that. This is a family outing. No, I don't think goals should be attainable. I think goals should be lofty. I think once that you figured out how spectacular you are because you've got a clear sense of identity and how amazing you are, your goals should be lofty. They should blow your mind. In fact, here's what I believe. If your goals don't make you uncomfortable, you don't have big enough goals. If your goals don't stretch you, you don't have big enough goals. If your goals don't pass the eyebrow test, you know what the eyebrow test is? When you share, yeah, exactly. When you share your goals with your friends in your inner circle and their eyebrows don't go up like, are you serious, dude? Then you don't have big enough goals. Here's what Les Brown said. Speaker, Les Brown said, most people fail in life. Most people fail not because they aim too high and miss. No, most people fail because they aim too low and hit. Friends, loved ones, set some big goals. Set some, but then I want you to keep asking yourself when you set them, is this big enough? Is this big enough? Because I don't want you to fail yourself, especially when you're capable of achieving so much more. Awesome, that's a cool ringtone. Third component, third trait, third characteristic of winners. Anybody remember? Winners do what? Jimmy's on it. They embrace adversity. This might be the most important thing. I'm a former ball player. I was a pretty good football player from Manalapan. All-state, we were pretty good. I thought I was going to go to Penn State and kind of shake up the world, kind of put Manalapan on the map. Didn't happen right away. Didn't happen right away. In fact, it was pretty brutal. When I got there, life was pretty tough. I told you I wasn't nearly as big as I am now, and I had to tackle some pretty big guys as a free safety. In fact, our fullback's name was Sam Gash. Cool name for a fullback. Sam Gash. I still have physical and emotional scars from tackling Sam Gash in practice. It was tough. It was tough because everyone's good. And guys were bigger, faster, and stronger. So how do you compete at that level? How do you compete when another company's bigger, faster, and stronger? When another organization is bigger, faster, and stronger? It's not about your talent. It's about how well you handle adversity. There's 3 things about adversity I understood after that. Number 1, adversity is inevitable. Adversity is inevitable. It's going to happen. I don't care where you're from, who you are, what your racial, ethnic, socioeconomic, political background is. Adversity is inevitable. Second thing I learned about adversity. Adversity reveals a person's true colors. You want to find out what somebody's really all about? Check them out when things are tough. Because everyone is wonderful when everything is wonderful. Right? One of my favorite quotes of all times, adversity introduces a man to himself. You find out what you're really all about when things get tough. Here's the third thing, and I promise I'm almost done. Adversity is opportunity in disguise. Adversity is opportunity in disguise. See, what makes a situation adverse is there's pain and discomfort, right? That's what makes a situation an adverse situation. There's pain and discomfort. Most human beings don't like pain and discomfort, right? Here's what most people do. Most people try to find ways to hide or mask the pain or retreat to a place of comfort. I don't want to deal with that. I don't like that. I'm uncomfortable there. Most people try to find ways to hide or mask the pain or retreat to a place of comfort. I can't say winners enjoy adversity. I can't say they enjoy pain and discomfort, but they understand that adversity is opportunity in disguise. So instead of running, instead of hiding, instead of retreating, they stay right there in the middle of that situation and they ask themselves a question. What's in this for me? How can I get better? How can I get stronger? How can I be more creative? How can I be more innovative? I want you to ask yourself that question because we're all facing difficult situations. Instead of running, instead of hiding, instead of retreating, I want you to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I get better because of this? How can I tackle Sam Gash? And you figure it out. It's amazing. You've heard it before. Necessity is the mother of... Yeah. Most of the things that have been developed because there was an adverse situation. I'm going to give you a quick tool. It's the easiest thing in the world. It kind of dawned on me one day. Maybe it'll help you. Instead of asking yourself what most people ask themselves, I'm going to give you a different question. Most people, when things get tough, their question is, how can I get out of this? How can I get out of this? I want to give you a different question. I want to give you a question that winners ask themselves. They don't say, how can I get out of this? They say, what can I get out of this? What can I get out of this? Same situation, same pain and discomfort, but now we're in control. Because we're going to get bigger, we're going to become faster, and we're going to become stronger.
Sorry,
It's all good, man. Take the call. It must be important.
that's the wife.
Take the call. Don't blame it on me. Not how can I get out of this, what can I get out of this? 3 traits. I'll open it up for a couple questions if we have a minute.
Yep.
Number 1, winners have a clear sense of...
Identity.
Come on, help me. Winners have a clear sense of...
Identity.
Number 2, winners set specific and...
All
And the third thing is winners embrace...
Adversity.
Thank you guys for your time.